So, ladies and gentlemen, today marks a new dawn for transportation in our metropolitan area. The enhancements that we are launching today are not abstract. They will have very tangible, real-life benefits for our citizens living in Nairobi and its environs, and also for the rest of Kenya. Dreams will be empowered, businesses will be revived and prosper, travel, connectivity, and enterprise will all be made easier, and unique concerns of persons living with disabilities will be better addressed. In concluding my remarks, I want to thank each and every agency that delivered these momentous improvements to life in the metropolitan area, as well as the private sector players and our development partners for their support. Through the vision, hard work, and commitment of all, Nairobi and the rest of Kenya will derive immense benefits. Through these and other efforts towards the regeneration of life in our beautiful capital city, I believe will be much improved for all her residents, and Nairobi's status as the gateway and hub for Eastern Central Africa will be fortified. We have reason to be proud of Nairobi, the green city in the sun, for its leading the way in Africa in creating a modern, vibrant city where public transport and business enterprise solutions are delivered at superb value for money and in line and in an environmentally conscious manner that improves the living experience of all our residents of Nairobi, as well as those of our visitors. The stations on our new scheduled commuter rail service will provide enhanced transport in high-density residential areas of Ruiru, Mweki, Embakasi Village, Athi River, Kikuyu, Kahawa, Githurai, Dandora, Pipeline, and Donholm. These stations will soon be served by 11 DMUs, of which 5 are being commissioned today. With the introduction of these improved commuter rail services, I believe our hardworking citizens in the metropolitan area will have access to alternative forms of public transportation, and they will be served in stations that have modern ticketing systems, adequate parking, improved security, and better road access. It is also worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, that no journey will take more than an hour from these stations to or from the CBD, even during peak hours, when traffic congestion on roads consigns many travelers to spending many hours in gridlock. The service will have day-long, hourly train services to and from these stations, giving our commuters greater flexibility in terms of their travel schedule. The new commuter rail network will also be integrated with a bus rapid transport system that will connect the Nairobi Central Station with existing matatu and commuter bus termini. To enhance services for commuters, we have also invested in the rehabilitation of this Nairobi Central Station, the refurbishment of access roads to the station, and improvement of the railway infrastructure at the station. Additionally, the Nairobi Metropolitan Services is almost finishing the construction of the Green Park Terminus, where all matatus currently operating at the Central Railway Station will be transferred to, with an additional alternative terminus being availed at the Workshop Road terminus located at Desai Road and Park Road. Kenya Railways has acquired some high-capacity buses to provide the last mile and last mile connections for commuters, commuter rail passengers, and these buses will be stationed at Nairobi Central Station to provide transport services to and from industrial area, Upper Hill, Westlands, Parklands, and Pangani. It is also important to note that the commuter rail passengers from these new stations will also have access to the standard gauge railway line from the Nairobi terminus to the Ongata Rongai and Ngong stations. Additionally, the connection from the Nairobi Central Station to the Nairobi terminus will provide commuter rail passengers convenient access to long-distance travel on the Madaraka Express to and from Mombasa and Suswa. In the next 1 year, this scheduled commuter rail service will be extended to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, allowing air travelers an alternative mode of transport to and from the airport without suffering the frustration of being caught up in the Mombasa Road traffic jam. While this extension is being constructed, high-capacity buses will be stationed for the time being at Embakasi Village Station to provide direct transportation services to and from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. By investing in an integrated transport network in our cities and growing urban areas, we are not only giving citizens affordable and accessible pathways to conduct their business and social activities, but we are also creating additional pathways for employment and economic development. Indeed, international experience shows that investment in transit can yield 50,731 jobs per 100 billion invested and offer a 4-to-1 economic return. The investment undertaken so far in upgrading the commuter rail stations within the Nairobi metropolitan region, investments in access roads, including the non-motorized transport facilities, and creating integrated and modern ticketing systems that accommodates off-site booking purchases has cost us a total of 6.6 billion shillings. We are comforted by the fact that these investments have already yielded great fruits. During the construction of these 10 commuter rail stations, we have engaged an average of 50 workers per day, culminating in over 180,000 direct jobs created and over 700,000 indirect jobs. Furthermore, the maintenance and upkeep of these stations was and will continue to be undertaken by the Kazi Mtaani youth, who are able to contribute to the public good while at the same time gaining daily wages for works undertaken. In addition, with the completion of these projects, we should see the renewal of townships that had endured decades of reduced economic activity. As we unveil commuter services to these stations, we are creating additional revenues for future commercialization and much-needed local economic recovery in areas whose vast potential still remains untapped. The enhancements that we are launching today are a key milestone within our long-term strategy for an integrated mass transport plan for Nairobi and indeed all other urban areas of Kenya. While our cities have undergone enormous change in infrastructure, as manifested by the dramatic change in Nairobi's skyline in the last decade in particular, our transport sector has exhibited far less growth and diversification. Indeed, our investment in integrated mass transit is informed by the various transport challenges that our citizens continue to face in urban areas. Indeed, it is estimated that the value of time lost to travel in Nairobi, as an example, is between 80 million and 400 million shillings per month, with congestion costing the country about 50 million shillings daily. Needless to say, this loss in productivity has impacted adversely the growth of our economy, and it is estimated that as a country we lose in excess of Kenya shillings 100 billion every year. Indeed, the current over-reliance on road transport has also negatively impacted on our environment, and in studies on climate change and environmental impacts indicate that the transport sector produces about 15% of Kenya's total greenhouse gas emissions, and that 39% of Kenya's total CO2 emissions are generated by road transport. Accordingly, improving urban transport and mobility in Kenyan cities not only has economic benefits to the nation as a whole, but is also a key pillar in environmental protection and mitigating climate change. Therefore, by diversifying our urban transport solutions and giving commuters the option of faster and cheaper travel by rail, we will reduce the number of motor vehicle trips and thereby save Kenyans not only time and money, but also enhance air quality in our Kenyan urban areas. It is gratifying for me that today we are seeing the first fruits of our efforts to achieve these broad aims through the unveiling of commuter rail services across 10 stations in the Nairobi metropolitan region, operating trains, and these DMUs will create a new commuter experience that will be faster, much more affordable, and reliable.